Greetings YouTube audience and all others, my name is Joe Milkshake and welcome to Let's Play TF2. Now, this is my first TF2 video ever, so today I'm going to be demonstrating the spy, some of his abilities, and just generally how the class works. Now, first off, I'm going to start us off with the stock weapons. So, this gives us the Invisi-Watch, the revolver, the knife, and the sapper. Now, I'll just go change my weapons. Now, the spy is one of the most powerful classes in the game, but also one of the most unbalanced. One of the spy's greatest abilities is his backstab, which, if you hit someone from behind with your knife, or any of the spy's knives, then they will be instantly killed, as it does 600% of their health and damage. See, I tried to do a backstab there, but kind of failed. What happens is, when the spy's ready to do a backstab, he will raise up his knife in preparation for a downward stab, and that's how you know you're ready for it. However, if you can be far away enough, but also close enough for it to, you not need to play that animation, and you can still get the backstab. So right here, I'm playing on a bot server on Badlands, Koth, King of the Hills, so I'm not very good at finding other servers, so excuse me that it's a bot server. But anyway, so here, the spy's weapons are the revolver, which is just really a pistol that does about 40 damage per shot if you're close enough. The knife, which I've already explained. The spy's electro sapper, which is a very special weapon. What it does, it slowly saps away and engineers buildings' health until it dies, which makes spies the bane of engineers' existence. And finally we have the disguise kit, which allows the spy to disguise as one of the other classes on the other team, which allows him to blend in and sneak around among them, which makes the spy a really sneaky class. Now, the thing with the spy is that he's very hard to learn. I do not suggest him as a starter class, as he is extremely difficult and hard to master and can be very frustrating when you start off. However, when you do play well as him, it can be very exhilarating and prove very, very fun. So here I'm going to demonstrate the electro sapper. Now that's sapping away, it was sapping away his sentry's health. Engineers are able to remove sappers with 2 hits from the wrench, and I'll explain that more when I do another video, but now I'm going to show you some of the other spy's other weapons. The first of which is the Big Earner, and the Dead Ringer, or the Cloak and Dagger, sorry. So, what the Big Earner is a spy knife that, when on backstab, gives you 30% cloak and a short speed boost. Now, the cloak is very useful because since you already get cloak from the ammo boxes enemies drop, you can almost completely refill your cloak when you backstab someone. So, the second weapon I'm showing you is the Big Earner, the Cloak and Dagger. Sorry, the Cloak and Dagger is another one of the spy's Invisi-Watches, but it works a bit different. While it does drain a lot faster than the stock Invisi-Watch, it also is motion sensitive, so crap, I forgot to disguise. Sorry, it's motion sensitive, so it'll drain faster the faster you're moving, so that when you're crouching, it'll go very slowly, it'll go very fast while you're moving, and if you're just standing still, it'll recharge even if it's activated. It also recharges much quicker than the stock Invisi-Watch when it's not activated, so that it's very useful in that fact as well. So, this class is... The knife is very good for making quick escapes as well, as because of the speed boost, the spy can make a quick getaway with, just really fast. He'll probably run about as fast as a scout, who I will be demonstrating later on. Sorry, wait. No, that's snappers. Backstab. See, the Big Earner allows for big escapes once you backstab someone, since it refills your cloak and gives you a speed boost. It's very useful for when you backstab someone and you just need to quickly escape. Alright. The next weapon I'll show you is the L'étranger and the Dead Ringer. So, the L'étranger is a revolver for the spy. It doesn't work much differently, except what its stats does. In return for a 20% downgrade to its damage, it gives you plus 40% cloak duration and plus 15% cloak when you shoot someone with it. Now this is really good for when, like, this goes kind of hand in hand with the Dead Ringer in some cases, so I'll explain the Dead Ringer. The Dead Ringer is another spy in Watch, and what it does, instead of turning you invisible, when you take any sort of damage while using it, it feigns your death, so that enemies will see you die, but you will turn invisible and just run away. It's a very good escape mechanism if your plan just goes wrong, or you just want to get out of there once you backstab someone. Ah, crap. See, I tried to go for the backstab there, that didn't work. At least I got a sentry gun. And he just walked right into me. Ugh. Anyway, so yeah, the Dead Ringer is very useful, and the Big Earner kind of works with it since it refills your cloak. And now, so yeah, the Big Earner and the Dead Ringer can be a very deadly combo together if used correctly, since you can refill your cloak almost straight away and then escape. However, a Big Earner also takes a bite-sized chunk out of your health and is often said to be one of the worst of the knives because of its lack of any other useful stat, but still I think it's quite a useful weapon. Now, next I'm going to show you the red tape recorder and the Conover's kunai. Now, I forgot to say, the l'étranger is also very good since it increases the duration of cloak, which can be very good for the cloak and dagger, seeing as it has a very short cloak duration, but also for the Dead Ringer since it allows you to get further away before your cloak completely runs out. Now, the Conover's kunai is a very it's a bit of a dice roll when you use the Conover's kunai. As you'll see, my max health has been reduced down to 70, but as you'll see, if I backstab someone, I gain overheal up to 210 health. So that's the good thing about the Conover's kunai. While you get a health decrease at the start, if you backstab someone, you will get an overheal stat even higher than a stock spy. It can be very while you are as fragile as a Dorito chip in the beginning. If you equip this thing, it can be very useful if you get a lot of backstabs with it as well. So you need to master it a little bit as well, though, so I don't recommend it as your starting weapon either. Crap. Okay. That's the problem, but getting people like that can be very difficult at times. The spy is difficult because backstabbing can often be very wonky, but he's also very hard to use, seeing as you can't just charge in Rambo style like you can with all the other classes. It's a risky approach to play as this spy and can be very hard to master, but if you practice enough, you can actually get really good as the spy, and when you do, it's quite exhilarating. I hope you'll see how useful the Dead Ringer is here, because every time I backstab someone, the Dead Ringer allows me to just quickly escape from the scene. It can be very useful in that aspect. So yeah, right at the moment I'm just, looking around trying to find some other enemies to kill, and it seems they're coming out of spawn. I think I'll try and grab this sniper. Just keep in mind, you probably notice I'm not that good, and that's what a message I'm going to try and convey. I am by no means an amazing spy. In fact, I'm probably not even fit to be giving you this tutorial video. I'm actually not very good as the spy myself. I actually used to really, really suck. But my purpose here is not to just give you an awesome skill gameplay. It's just to show you a bit of how to play the spy, some of his weapons, so you can, it can be a bit easier for you when you're trying it out, because, like I said, it can be very, very difficult. Seems there's 2 scouts here, so I'm just going to leave them in room. Oh, okay, he knew I was a spy. Damn it. Alright. I haven't even told you about that. Red tape recorder yet. Okay, so, next weapon I'm going to show you is your eternal reward after I show you the red tape recorder. So, the red tape recorder is the only other sapper you can use for the spy. It is what this weapon does is when you if you can, sorry. So what the red tape recorder does, instead of doing damage to enemy buildings until they die, what it does, it will, it'll actually just, actually rewind the actual building levels, so that when the red tape recorder is on it, it'll slowly go back to from level 3 to level 2 to level 1, and eventually back into the toolbox stage. Now, this can be useful for like when you get an NG's thing, and even if it gets the sapper off, it'll still be weaker. It's often seen as a bad weapon, and I agree that it's a bad weapon because it kills sentries so slowly. It can be it's just really bad. You don't really get much out of the red tape recorder. It's much easier to just use the sapper since it kills it much faster. So now your eternal reward is another weapon, and as you've probably seen, I haven't had a disguise kit, and I've tried multiple times to do that by accident, but that's what the eternal reward does. It swaps out giving you a disguise kit, but instead it makes you disguise as the person you backstab as soon as you backstab them instantly, so that instead of having to swap to your disguise kit every time you kill someone, you can just instantly disguise as them when you backstab them. This NG is fucking suspicious, and he's tried to kill me. So yeah, that's what the eternal reward does, and I'm doing okay with it. I'm not usually all that good with it, and like the spy, I do not suggest it as a starter weapon, because this weapon is incredibly hard to master. I crafted it for the first time, and it took me ages to get used to. It's a very risky approach using this weapon, but if you can get good with it, it will reward you a lot more. So I don't suggest it to start off, but once you get good as the spy, you should try it out. So I've just been killed here. I wasn't able to get a good disguise there, but I'm just going to swap back to the stock sapper. So yeah, so that's kind of just the weapon arsenal I have for the spy. At least I'm pretty sure I have all the knives except for the black rose, which is just the stock knife anyway. And yeah, that's pretty much the whole loadout for the spy. And I'm just gonna start giving you some tips for him. So the spy, like I said, he's very hard to use and can be very frustrating at times. I don't suggest it when you're starting off, but the spy, it can be also quite exhilarating, like I said. And some tips for him, well, the ultimate way to get better is just practice. Some tips are, be careful, don't run in. You should always evaluate the battlefield, stay in the back lines, and never do, you stay in the back lines, and you don't just, try and go MLG killing everyone, because that won't work. You won't get very far doing that. But it's very important as the spy to evaluate the situation, so you can make a plan as to how you're going to engage this. But yeah, so the spy, yeah. But anyway, so well, yeah, that's just really all I can say. You really just need to practice as the spy, but your loadout should, I do suggest using the Dead Ringer as soon as you can get it, because in my opinion, it's much better than InvisiWatch. Some people are able to use the InvisiWatch well, I don't know, but I just use the Dead Ringer much better than I use anything else, so I do suggest using that, even though it can be a little bit difficult to use at times, so, crap. Yeah. See, like I said, I am by no means a good spy. I suck. Yeah, but I'm by no means, in fact, I'm not by no means a good TF2 player. I mean, I've only got like some 120-something hours on this game. I'm not even that good, but I really enjoy this game, and I really want to help those who have trouble in the beginning, and just, well, actually, just to sort of demonstrate all the weapons, really. This wasn't really a tip video, because I'm really no good at doing that, and I just got blown up. So yeah, so trying to go into a group of enemies is a bad idea, as they will likely be facing multiple directions, especially with the Eternal Reward. It's a bad idea, but yeah, so that's really all I can say about the Spy. He is a exhilarating class at times, but can be very hard to get used to in the beginning. But in the long run, he is an awesome class. So I'm just gonna sap his sentry there. Yeah, that's gonna get gibbed. Nice. Alright, he's trying to kill me. I need to grab that health pack. It's like the Scout, it's also very useful to memorize the places of health packs when you're playing the Spy, because you'll often be low on health and you'll need to be able to grab them. Crap, he hurt my death ring there. So that's pretty much the Spy's whole inventory, but now I'm gonna show you my weapons of choice. In fact, actually I've already got them equipped, my weapons of choice. My weapons of choice are the Dead Ringer, the Your Eternal Reward, the L'Étranger, and the Stock Sapper. Alright, so I think I'm just gonna wait out here and try and find someone who comes out. Alright, so I see that engine. Yeah. So yeah, this is my loadout of choice, Dead Ringer, Your Eternal Reward, L'Étranger. However, for beginners, I suggest, if you don't have the stock weapons, I suggest the Knife, Dead Ringer, Sapper, and L'Étranger. If you're a beginner and you haven't already unlocked those weapons, though, the stock options are still pretty good. Still, though, use the Dead Ringer as soon as you possibly can. Alright, I'm now disguised as an NG, so it makes it a lot easier to play when you use the stock knife, because you can still use the disguise kit, and that makes it easy to move among them. However, I will say though, no one will be fooled by a disguise for any length of time. It's very easy for someone to discover that you're a spy, because the disguise, all it does is make you look different. If you behave differently and you just do a bunch of random stuff, it's not going to help you out. And so if you're playing the spy with your disguise, never look directly at someone or let them see you walking straight at them, as that will immediately get their suspicion levels up. But if you can, yeah. Damn it, I should have gotten that. So, alright. And when you disguise as a class, go where they would go. Behave like that class would, because if you can do that, it'll make your disguise much more believable. And while I know that sounds pretty obvious at first, it can actually be a very hard thing to pick up. See, I always disguise as the sniper because I generally hang back as the spy and kill enemies at spawn, and being the sniper gives me an excuse to be hanging back, so yeah. I'm just gonna kill that NG and escape. Also, a good little trick is that if you press B as the spy, you can switch back to the disguise you were last using. It's a really cool shortcut, and it's the one I used all the time. Ugh, that backstab did not go well. Anyway, so that's pretty much the ins and outs of the spy and all the tips I have to give. So, I'm just going to finish this round and then I think I'll sign off. This has been my first TF2 video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, but again, I've never done this before, so if I'm not very good at it, please forgive me. So, I'm about to finish this round. I'll just backstab that medic. My disguise as medic. Ugh. Oh, one more tip. You shouldn't disguise as a scout or medic. Like, you might think, oh wait, these two classes are faster than all the rest, I should probably disguise as them. That is a bad idea, because if you disguise as them, you will not gain the speed boost, and if when you're not that fast, it can sometimes, experienced players can sometimes very easily see that you're a spy if you're not moving fast enough to be a medic or a scout. So don't use those disguises often unless you're using the YER and you manage to get a backstab on either of them, in which case you have no choice. But just really be careful when you're disguising, because you never know when you might pick the wrong disguise, or just disguise as the same guy one too many times, and then they'll get suspicious and they'll get an easy kill on you. So just be careful. That's all I have to say. Right. See, this is moments where the Dead Ringer comes in handy. When you fail the sap, you can just... Yeah, so, just gonna finish this round. Alright, so this has been Joe Milkshake, and this has been my first TF2 video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you in my next one. See you later, guys.